so now we got done with both sides of the taper, of the low skin taper, okay? And actually, we're gonna go ahead and take down the top part of his head, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna comb his hair the way that it naturally is. And one technique to figure out the way that his hair actually goes is to just get your comb, have his hair dry, and you just tap his head like this, like so, and his hair will fall into place on where it's supposed to actually be. Okay, and again, like I said in the beginning of the video, is we will give it a dry haircut. So with the dry haircut, if the dry haircut looks good, with the final product, when we add product in there, to add product is just an enhancement to make it look better. Okay, so as long as we can get the haircut to look good dry, it'll be great when it's styled. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, since his hair is already coming over this way, we're going to over direct the hair, and we're going to come straight through the middle, and we're going to just take a little bit off. Okay, we're going to take about like a quarter of an inch off, just like that. Going to stick our comb in this finger, get our shears, our shogun shears, and we're going to cut straight through until the second knuckle. You never want to cut past your the second part of your knuckle, okay? You always want to be careful for that. Then we're going to follow this guideline that we have right here, and we're going to cut all the way straight through to the second knuckle. And this is how I know that I can keep the hair even, is as long as I'm pulling the hair at a 90-degree level with maximum tension without the hair bending. Okay, so maximum tension means that I'm pulling the hair straight up, and medium tension would be when the hair will rest. Okay, so I'm pulling it at a 90-degree angle, okay, and I'm over directing, and I'm just following the guidelines that I made previous to the second. And for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and make the mohawk. So this is how I cut hair. How I take people's hair down is I'll make the mohawk section first, and then I'll come back down to take care of the left and right sections of the head. Okay? And then when we get to the back part right here, how we take care of this back part, this back section, and his swirls right there, we're just going to go ahead and see if we can actually cut any hair, and we're going to pull it. And now this is our guideline that we made up here. We're just going to cut it straight through, okay, like so. Alright, so now that I did the mohawk section already, I'm going to go ahead and favor the right section of the head and drop it to 90-degree angle. Still, everything is 90 degrees, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and pull. I'm going to find the guide that I made from the mohawk. I'm going to cut straight into it, like so. Going to get that like that. Cut into the second knuckle, okay? And sometimes I will just go over just to make sure that my guideline is still substantial. I'm going to go ahead and come over here more. And I'm still at maximum tension. Still at maximum tension with this. And I know that I'm holding the hair for every single stroke that I do. You can just let it go at whatever time that you want, whatever feels more comfortable for you. For me, I just hold the hair and I move on to the next section just because I get into these grooves all the time and I just don't want to stop cutting. But occasionally, I'll just completely just let go. And it's not that hard to find. It's not that hard to find your mohawk when you're taking down long hair. Okay. So again, we're gonna comb his hair that way. We're gonna get our duster, dust him off a little bit, make sure he's nice and cool. And since we did the right section already, we're going to go ahead and go with the left section. Okay? And the front part is always tricky. The front section of the head is always tricky. That's why you always have to have proper consultation with your client as far as if they like to flip this hair over, like all the way completely combed over, or if they like to flip it up in the back, or going to the back a little bit for a little bit of a pompadour-ish kind of look with product. And another important question to ask your clients when they do have comb-overs is to ask them if they use gel or if they use pomade. And then you ask them, is just having proper consultation with your client can get you to achieve the haircut that they desire, and then that satisfies yourself. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the left section of this part. And if you ever get lost with where your guideline is, you just flip this comb over, and you can see all the little hairs that's been cut already. Okay. And again, we're going to go with a more gradual kind of look for him. A gradual kind of mohawk or comb over. So we'll then pull out the thinning shears in a few seconds. And then this is the proper way to check, to cross-check your work. Is that when you check your work and you want to make sure everything's even, when the hair is combed over this way, or when you cut the hair coming this way, right, like as I did, you check it by cross-checking this way, okay? If you take somebody's hair down cutting this way, then you check it by coming this way, so you know everything's even. So his hair is combing over to the right side, so you can't really go with it as far as like me coming on this way and then pulling his hair. I mean, you can because his hair is not wet, but you actually really want to come more on this side, and then you pull the hair out to make sure that it's all even. And usually there'll be like a few little small ones that you just have to take care of yourself real quick. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Make sure we're cross-checking it properly. It's almost equivalent to like a second overshave when you do like lather, and then you do a water shave. Okay. So his hair is messy right now, but we'll get all that cleaned up in a second. Just want to go over my work real quick. Gonna comb it right back to where it was, which is really simple. Okay. Again, to make sure you always dust off your client all the time. And then now I'm going to go ahead and get my thinning shears. I'm going to get my thinning shears right here. And come over on this side. Right here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my thumb when I cut. To practice this technique, as far as just using your thumb and not closing it that way, but to just close it like that with your thumb, is you just take your shears home and you practice that technique. Okay? Some people go crazy as far as thinning out the hair like that, but for me, I'm too scared for stuff like that. I'm not that big of a risk taker when it comes to other people's hairs. Okay, and then also I'm doing slow comb strokes and fast scissor strokes. Okay, that's like one of the big techniques right there, is you comb up slow, and as you get higher, you move faster. Okay, we're going to go with the thick part of his head right here. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. And one thing too is, you obviously can see that his hair, it won't be able to comb straight down. Okay, his hair is naturally this way, so you always want to follow the natural growth pattern of his head at all times, of their head at all times. And I'm also using the wider tooth part of my comb, and I'm using my index finger as a guide to help me actually not move my thumb so much. Okay, and that's kind of like a new technique that I just picked up on myself right there. Alright, now for the final touches, go ahead and you can stay tuned and watch the final touches as I hit him with the shaver. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the straight razor, and I'm also going to throw a product in his hair, and he'll be done by the next clip.